Attention. Welcome to the Different Spectrums podcast. We dive into the wild world of mental health discussions. Get ready for profound talks, a sprinkle of humor and sarcasm, and a touch of colorful language. Just a quick heads up, our show reflects our individual opinions, which may not align with the standpoint of the podcast, our featured guests, or any related corporate entities. Our mission? To illuminate through laughter and satire because everyone needs a good chuckle. Chill out and don't stress over the small stuff. Legal troubles? No, thank you. Cancel culture? Please spare us. We'd rather keep this space lawsuit free. So buckle up, have a good time, and join us as we navigate the vibrant realm of mental health on the Different Spectrums podcast. Today's episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who is trained to listen and give you helpful, unbiased advice. By using our link, you can get 10% off your first month of therapy. So, Naz, as a therapist on BetterHelp, what has your experience been like?
I've been doing it since January 2021, and it's been really fun and exciting. I've been able to reach clients all over the United States and the world. I've had good relationships. I've had folks that I've had for a couple months and a good handful where I've had for almost 2 years now. So it's magnificent. I've enjoyed my time and my clients. I love them.
Awesome. You can do it all from your phone or computer via phone call, video chat, or messaging, however you feel the most comfortable. Let BetterHelp connect you to a therapist who can support you all from the comfort of your own home. Visit betterhelp.com/DSP or choose Different Spectrums podcast during sign up and enjoy a special discount on your first month. Hey everybody, we back again.
Hey, we're back. What a lie.
I'm Spencer. Of course, we have our licensed clinical therapist, Naz.
They call me the Pepe, the Poobah, the Massa. Hold up. They call me.
Wait a minute.
They call me the Diddler.
Oh,
Go on.
remember, don't take us too seriously.
Or do. It's completely up to you.
There you go. Also, don't forget to run up those likes for us. We'd really appreciate it. Hey, it's white tea time. I'm the only one wearing a white tee, but it's white tea time. This is a white tea podcast, so it's about to get crazy. All right.
Is today white tea day or something? My slang in my white tea. I bang in my white tea.
I'm trying to bring them back. All right.
Okay.
Trying to bring them back. All right. For all my homies. Today we are taking a look at the movie Deadpool, the first Deadpool, the series. We're going to be diving deep into the mercenary with the loud mouth, Ryan Reynolds, the Canadian who just keeps on making great things. Who would have thunk? Who would have thunk?
A Canadian that makes me gay.
I think he's made a few people gay. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
So some topics that we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about disassociating. We're going to be talking about panic and anxiety. We're also going to be bringing up some of our older podcasts that we've done in the past, and how this is a different one. We're also going to be talking about a couple moments in your life that you really got. They can really, you got 4 or 5 moments in your life. That's about it. That's about it. And then also we're going to be talking about what it means to theoretically be throwing through a wall. What does that mean? What does that mean for us in our lives? We just keep on, like we always talk about, getting back up on that horse. But what happens if we keep on falling down a lot?
I get back on it. I ride it long and hard.
You sure do. You sure do.
Sure do.
So now is anything before we get into the show?
We're gonna have some fun with this one. This will all be a quicker one too, because I know there's a lot of long pods y'all got to get to. We're gonna try to be quicker, but we'll see what happens. Sometimes Jesus takes the wheel. I'm gonna focus really on the anxiety attack one because I had a client that bring up some stuff, and that visual popped in there with him not being able to breathe. Thank you again for everyone listening. We've had some magnificent guests by the time you get to this podcast. Please go check them out. We've had Emmy winners. We've had documentarists. We've had college document. We've had, Olympians on. We've had magnificent therapists on. By the time you get to this, there's some really good fucking content. I'm really excited about it. I'm excited to start getting into season 3 as well.
Yes.
But yeah, let's have some fun. Let's do this one and let's get out. And then we'll get to Deadpool 2, hopefully about a month after this. And then Deadpool 3 after that. All right. Boop, boop.
Boop, boop.
Here's the thing. Life is an endless series of train wrecks with only brief commercial-like breaks of happiness. This had been the ultimate commercial break, which meant it was time to return to our regularly scheduled program.
Oh my God, wait!
You're clowning. You're not clowning. I sense clowns.
People react to news of late-stage cancer differently. There are certainly options we can look into. New drugs are being developed every day.
So what do we do? Surely there is something we can do. My Uncle Ivan was diagnosed with thyroid cancer, and there were all these new experimental drugs from Germany.
Vanessa's already working on plan A, B, all the way through Z. Me? I'm memorizing the details of her face. Like it's the first time I'm seeing it. Or the last.
Mr. Wilson. Mr. Wilson, take your time to process this. It's important not to do anything rash.
This is my most prized possession.
Wham.
No. Wham! Make it big as the album that George and Andy earned the exclamation point.
So, am I supposed to just smile and wave you out the door?
Think of it like spring cleaning, only if spring was death. God, if I had a nickel for every time I spanked it to Bernadette Peters.
Sounds like you do. Bernadette is not going anywhere because you're not going anywhere. Drink.
You're right. Cancer's only in my liver, lungs, prostate, and brain. All things I can live without. Oh.
You belong here at home, surrounded by your Voltron and your Bernadette and your me.
Listen, we both know that cancer is a shit show. Like a Yakov Smirnoff opening for the spin doctors at the Iowa State Fair. Shit show. And under no circumstances will I take you to that show. I want you to remember me. Not the ghost of Christmas me.
Well, I want to remember us.
I swear to God, I will find you in the next life, and I'm gonna boombox Careless Whisper outside your window. Wham!
No one is boomboxing shit, okay? We can fight this. Besides, I just realized something. You win. Your life is officially way more fucked up than mine.
I love you.
You've been warned before, Deadpool. This is a shameful and reckless use of your powers. You will both be coming with us.
Look, Colossus, I don't have time for the goody two-shoes bullshit right now. And you are...
Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
Negasonic Teenage... What the shit? That's the coolest name ever! So what, you're like, his sidekick?
No, trainee.
Let me guess. X-Men left you behind on what? Shit detail?
What does that make you?
Pretending you're not here, Negasonic Teenage Warhead. Can we trade names?
Can we go?
Look! I'm a teenage girl. I'd rather be anywhere than here. I'm all about long, sullen silences, followed by mean comments, followed by more silences. So what's it gonna be, huh? Long, sullen silence or mean comment? Go on.
You got me in a box here.
We can't allow this, Deadpool. Please, come quietly.
You big chrome cock gobbler!
That's not nice.
You really gonna fuck this up for me? Trust me. That wheezing bag of dick tips has it coming. He's pure evil. Besides, nobody's getting hurt. That guy was already up there when I got here.
Wade, you're better than this. Join us. Use your powers for good.
Heads up.
Be a superhero.
Listen! The day I decided to become a crime-fighting shit-swizzler who rooms with a bunch of other little whiners at the Neverland mansion of some creepy, old, bald, Heaven's Gate-looking motherfucker, on that day, I'll send your shiny happy ass a friend request. But until then, I'm gonna do what I came here to do. Either that, or slap the bitch out of you.
Wade.
Hey.
Zip it, Sinead.
Hey, douche pool.
And I hope you're watching.
Quite unfortunate.
That does it! Oh! Oh! Canada! That's not good.
Wade, please.
Cockshot! Oh, your poor wife.
You really should stop.
Oh, the dinosaurs feared the T-Rex.
Oh! I promise this gets worse for you, big boy!
This is embarrassing. Please, stay down.
You ever hear of the one-legged man in the ass-kicking contest?
Do you have off switch?
Yeah, it's right next to the prostate. Or is that the on switch?
Enough! Let us go talk to the professor.
McAvoy or Stewart? These timelines are so confusing. Oh. Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
You'll recover, Wade. You always do.
You ever see 127 Hours? Spoiler alert.
If I were you. See, here's the problem. Round-the-clock torture is that you can't really step it up from there. Is that what you think?
If this doesn't unlock your mutation, then, well, nothing will.
Now, what we're going to do is lower the oxygen concentration in the air to the exact point you feel like you're suffocating. If your brainwaves slow, meaning you're about to pass out, then we'll turn up the O2. If your heart rate slows, meaning you're able to catch your breath, we'll turn it back down. And that's where we'll leave you. Right there. Oh, I thought you guys were dicks before. You know the funniest part of this? You still think we're making you a superhero. You. A dishonorable discharge. Hip deep in hookers. You're nothing. Your secret, Wade. This workshop doesn't make superheroes. We make super slaves. We're gonna fit you with a control collar and auction you off to the highest bidder. Who knows what they'll have you doing? Terrorizing citizens, putting down freedom fighters. Maybe just mow the occasional lawn. What the fuck is wrong with you?
You're never going home after this.
Now there's a brave face. Wait. Seriously? You actually have something in your teeth now. Enjoy your weekend.
Weekend? Back up. Weekend?
Did I say this was a love story? No. It's a horror movie. Any last words?
What's my name?
Who fucking cares?
Wait! 4 or 5 moments.
I'm sorry?
4 or 5 moments, that's all it takes.
To...
Be a hero. Everyone thinks it's a full-time job. Wake up a hero, brush your teeth a hero, go to work a hero. Not true. Over a lifetime, there are only 4 or 5 moments that really matter. Moments when you're offered a choice. To make a sacrifice, conquer a flaw, save a friend, spare an enemy. In these moments, everything else falls away. The way the world sees us. The way we... Why?
You were droning on! Sure, I may be stuck looking like pepperoni flatbread, but at least fuckface won't heal from that. It's wearing superhero tights. Means sparing psychopaths, and maybe I wasn't meant to wear them. Not everyone monitors a hall like you.
Just promise.
Yeah, I'll be on the lookout for the next 4 moments. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm just a boy about to stand in front of a girl and tell her, what the fuck am I gonna tell her?
Well, you better figure it out.
Hey everyone, before we get into the show, please check out our collaborator, Bubs Naturals. They sell a variety of health and wellness products, including collagen peptides, MCT oil powder, coffee, apple cider vinegar gummies, and other amazing products. Go to bubsnaturals.com and use our code DSP20 to get 20% off your entire order. And with that, let's get into the show. And we are back again.
We're back. And we're live. Just as live as Canelo Alvarez donating all his purse money to the folks suffering in Gaza from the genocide. So I forgot to mention in our last pod, shout out to someone that's not even Lebanese or Palestinian or Middle Eastern. Shout out to Canelo Alvarez, putting 50 million of his money into housing the unhoused in Mexico in his own country, in his own place, and then also donating his purse money to helping out the folks in Palestine. So there's a lot of good people doing good things these days. I wanted to put some recognition on that. But yeah, we're back and we're live.
Yeah. We like to call him the white queso.
The spies.
Yeah, he's a spicy one. But yeah, thanks for bringing that up.
Yep.
Very important to finally give shout outs to people there, given to the cause,
Yeah.
So it's good. All right. So, like we said in the intro, we are doing Deadpool 1. So this is the origin story of Deadpool. If you've ever seen X-Men Origins, that was thrown out of here. That is not the real Deadpool. This is. And so this is all about Wade Wilson and how he came to be Deadpool. So the first thing that we're going to be doing has to do with his beginning story, right? So he finds out that he has cancer. And so the first thing that he doesn't really think about, what should I do to kind of cure this? Should I, start doing treatments and things like that, doing chemo? He more just thinks about, okay, I'm going to be looking at this woman that I love, and I'm going to be just memorizing her facial features because this would be one of the last times I ever get to see her again, right? And then, of course, his girlfriend is just distraught, but then she's also trying to think of ways to actually make sure that he actually gets treatment and then he can live as long as he possibly can so that they can keep on having those moments. I mean, for this is always a tough one because I think everybody who's listening, everybody who has been on the show has had somebody that has had cancer in their lifetime. And it's a very tough thing.
Common thing.
Yes, it's very common, but it's also a very tough thing to even wrap your head around, right? And for some people, they feel like they want to recluse and just get away because they don't feel like they want to be a burden on the people in their lives. Um, and then you have others who just want to get every step they can to make sure that they can live every day that they can and savor all those days so that then they can keep on having those moments. Um, Definitely have had it where it's a little bit too far gone, kind of like what Wade. And at that point, you're kind of just like, I just don't want to do any treatment because you just turn into a shell of yourself,
Yep.
essentially, right? Um, and then also, like I said, they like you feel like you're kind of a burden on your loved ones, that they have to take care of you and see you at a point of like kind of weakness that you don't really want to see, especially somebody like Wade, who ex-military, mercenary, somebody who's had
Badass.
tough, yeah, badass, tough childhood, things like that, has really grown to be this person and actually has fallen in love with somebody. Um, but that's the people think like that's kind of like an easy choice to make. Like, oh, I'm just going to do chemo, or oh, I'm just going to, not do anything. Those are tough choices to make.
Yep.
Those are really tough choices. And there's no right decision with that, to be honest with you. I think everybody kind of has their own thing that they're doing, and you can't really force somebody to do something that they feel like is going to deter from who they are as a person right now before they got the cancer or before they had an illness or anything like that. Um, so, um, since you did pick out the scene, I would love to know, like, what was something that you thought of while you were watching it again?
Very emotional scene. Cancer, we know, is probably going to affect most of our lives, but every single person who listens to this, who's on this podcast, has been affected by cancer. So to show this representation in a movie or on this podcast is good because it's a mental health issue, it's a family issue, it's a loved one issue, it's a partner issue. People's animals and pets are getting cancer. Like, I mean, it's everywhere. So Spencer did an awesome job on talking about the decisions, for me, for myself, them. Do I go out strong and happy? Do I do the chemo? Do I deteriorate? Do I put the burden on them? He's really far down in his treatment. It's very mentally taxing. I haven't had any folks that had cancer themselves. I've had many friends and family members with cancer, and family members die of cancer. But I've dealt with the clients that have a family member. Many of the clients will come in just specifically because their loved one, their parent, their uncle, their grandma, has had cancer. And that's tough. And it's just a lot of support, Spence. You're just sitting with them, right? You're talking about how they can't do anything. They contemplate their own selves, Spence, their life. What's their meaning, their purpose? Why do people go through this? Why is God doing this to my mother? Why is God doing this to my father, my uncle? Right? Why are they taking my sister from me? Well, they start to question everything. What's the even point of moving on and doing anything? Fuck it. Even good people die of shit like this. It can really fuck with someone's existential. Who are they? What are they doing? Why? It messes with everything. You can get depressed and suicidal, but you might be like her in the movie. You might be, let's tighten this shit up. Let's lock in. Let's take care of business. We're going to get you all the treatment. I have a lot of people that go into that go-go mode. Mm-hmm. And I have a lot of people, whether they're neurotypical or neurodivergent, that lock up. A lot of my clients are obviously going to be autistic, neurodivergent, and Spence's tough. They can't move.
Yeah.
They can't do the schoolwork. They can't talk to anyone. It's just too sad. Then the depression sets in, and it's a lot. So, my heart goes out to anyone dealing with this. Much love. Hopefully you find some peace. Hopefully you're talking to your loved ones. Hopefully, maybe if you got financially afford to get therapy yourself. But I brought the scene up because how he dissociates, Spence.
Right.
So he's in that moment, gets the bad news, and a lot of us that are neurodivergent, that gets news, happened to me today. Spencer was the one that, hey man, I got to talk to someone because if I talk to other people, I'm going to lose my shit. Spencer was like, he checked in, you good? I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm about to fucking rage. So in that moment, he gets the bad news, y'all.
Mhm.
He's looking at her, and then you see his mind go. His body is there, but his mind is gone. You hear her voice, but her voice is fading if you're paying attention. So it's background noise now. And then the internal monologue, the narrator, the spiraling thoughts are kicking up. That can resemble a panic attack. That can resemble you deregulating because something triggering just happened. Maybe you saw something weird, an abuser that you know. Maybe there was an accident. Maybe you got an exam, whatever. Something weird happened. Your body goes. Your mind goes, body stays. And so I think it's a really good representation of that how many of us feel, how I felt today when I got a message saying I was doing something horrifically wrong and I was getting kind of bullied. And I'm like, wait a minute now. I lost it. Started shaking, mad. I'm about to start swearing, but I can't type, because of dyslexia and this and that. And then I'm supposed to go see a client after that. Right. And I can't regulate for 2 clients. So an hour and a half it took me to get locked in.
Right.
And I wasn't even in the wrong. That's fucked up. I wasn't even in the wrong. They apologize. Oh, I did. I miscounted this thing. I'm like, for real, dog? All right. You about to get cussed out one day, homie. Trust me, it's coming. It's a coming. So those dissociations are intense.
Right.
They happen in therapy, Spence, all the time. I saw my client the other day. We were talking. I'm like, damn. She goes, oh, I'm sorry. I just blanked out on you. I said, yeah, that was fucking terrifying. Where'd you go? They're like, I don't even know.
Yeah.
Blanked out. It's certain topics, certain things in the past, but great scene, the representation of the horrific choices that one has to make who's suffering through cancer and the horrific existence it must be to support someone or know someone who's dying of cancer. And then the dissociations. Go ahead.
Can I ask, when you have somebody who does disassociate, is it, when you're a therapist, is it all about actually trying to figure out what the cause was for that? Or do you kind of just, is it moment by moment and you kind of let them kind of bring it up as it goes along? Or do you kind of push a little bit to try to see?
Regulate first.
Mm-hmm.
Get them to regulate first. Wait, we got to take a second. We got to breathe. We got to pivot away from that conversation, then come back. For my client the other day, it wasn't a disturbing deregulation dissociation. Their brain was just trying. I asked them a question and then they locked onto it and then boom, they lost it. And then their ADHD kicked in and then that was it. And then they came back. They're like, what the fuck was I just thinking of? But when people deregulate because of panic related issues or a trauma spike that we just touched, I mean, you can see it, man. They do that deep breath like we're going to talk about where they can't breathe. They kind of like zone out and it's like the life leaves them. So I'll pause and do some what we call like somatic work, trying to figure out what's going on with their body. What are they feeling? Heart rate, blood pressure. They getting sweaty. If they zoned out, where did their mind go? Was it a certain thing that I said? And if it was, is there a way we can avoid that? Or do you want to push further? Always get consent if you're going to push further. You're not going to just push and fuck them up more.
Right.
You got to make sure you can get them to come back. I've had some clients that are autistic that they full on dissociate where they're going to catatonia. So catatonia is even worse where they legit like nonverbal, not there. Like they're gone. They're in fucking, this is derogatory, but like cuckoo land. And that's kind of scary, but I'm not too scared. I've had a client do it a couple times last year for like couple minutes every once in a while. And then one time it was like legit 15 minutes. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to sit here. I'll check in like 5 minutes. I'll try to do a couple tricks or verbal things to like kind of make them frustrated with me. Not angry, but like, oh, hey, how's that one thing that you said you did? Isn't it like this and this? And like, they're like, no, that's wrong. Why would you say that? I try to confuse them by saying something stupid. And then sometimes it'll bring them back. Sometimes I'll try to get them to wiggle their toes and feet. Not all dissociations are bad, but in that specific one, that was legit dysphoria. And that was a horrific thing for him. And anyone who gets bad news, my heart goes out to you. Hopefully you can regulate. Hopefully it doesn't happen when you're driving a car. Right. And then if it does, pull over. If you get horrific news and you pull over. I don't even like my clients, Spence, if they get bad news and they're on their way to therapy or from to back home. I'm like, I don't even want you driving.
Yeah.
Because you might be like me, dissociate. I don't even know where the fuck I'm at half sometimes when I'm driving.
Kind of like what's her face from Better Call Saul. She just disassociates, and then all of a sudden she's like in a ditch.
Yep.
Like hours later at night when it was daytime.
Yep.
When she first disassociated.
Yep.
So
I remember that. Yep. It can happen with those panic attacks, bad news. It can happen, man. It is a thing that people go through. It does not mean you're crazy, right? It just means you're overstimulated or overwhelmed. Okay, maybe you didn't eat and your blood sugar's low. That could happen too. You could have a stroke, But if you're neurodivergent, ADHD, or autistic, most likely, schizophrenic, bipolar, most likely you got overwhelmed and your mind was like, I'm going to protect you. We going night night. That's what that is. Your body's like, night night, son.
Go sleep.
Yep. So I just want to do that real quick. Just talk about it. Very well done. Yeah. Very sad scene. It's going to be a little triggering. I'm sorry for some folks that are going through it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that also when we talk about just not only for Wade, who's actually disassociating as well, he's also using humor at a very dark time as well, because that's just his personality, is using humor every time, even though it might not be technically like appropriate, but that's how he kind of copes with these certain things, right? He's talking about Wham, he's talking about other things in his life that are happening, but yeah, I think that's also a good coping mechanism. It might not be, some people from the outside might not seem like that's a good thing, but at the same time, that is how he is coping with this bad news that is happening right now. Yep. And so, making jokes and things like that. And
it's
even
okay.
though he's pretty much, yeah, it's okay. And even though he's pretty much telling you, like, I'm about to like literally go in a cave and like die. So, yeah.
But you'll see a lot of neurodivergent individuals enjoy that humor, Spence, because it breaks the tension, especially with folks of color. It breaks the tension, man. I don't want to just be sad. It's nice to pivot every once in a while, right? I'll love someone, give them some compliment, and then I'll throw in some shithead stuff. The other day, me and Spence had a great podcast. We were talking about, suicidality, men's mental health. And I texted him because I wanted to text him and Colin and Moses and little Mike like the day before and tell them that I loved them. So then I shot the text out. I'm like, I love you, but fuck y'all.
I'm like, love you too, you fucking weirdo.
I know, you called me a weirdo. Then there was some other graphic, slur-based thing said, not from you, but other people.
I know. I was like, I know which one this is.
Yeah, you know who that was. And then Mike said, I love you, right? And then Moses did too. And then but Colin didn't say nothing. He just can't, bro.
He really can. He's just like, no.
He didn't even heart or like it, bro. I'm like,
he didn't do nothing. He just let it go.
But right, some folks, we got to have the humor. So all of us had humor in it. And Colin's just like, I'm avoiding all of this.
I don't like this. So
all of us men are saying that we love each other and trying to heal. And then Colin's, no. I'm like, you're so autistic. He didn't even like make a joke on the autism thing. And he's looking right at his phone. But that's besides the point.
It is what it is. All right. So I think going on to the next scene. So this is the original bridge scene. So a little bit of context to it. So before this movie even came out, the leaked test footage for the scene that happened previously before this was actually the reason why Deadpool even got a movie at all.
Oh.
Because it leaked and everyone on the internet was like, this is amazing, we need to watch it. And then it comes out that Ryan Reynolds might have been part of the reason why it leaked.
Yeah.
Which, hey, he had a dream. He knew that this movie was going to sell and it was going to be good. He just needed to give a little push to the studio.
Yep.
Yeah. And so that's how this movie was made. And so he kills like 12 people in a row with 12 bullets or something like that. And so now he's finally getting Francis, this guy who tortured, who pretty much killed all these different people and pretty much sold them all into like mutant slavery.
Yep.
Essentially. And he's finally about to get his revenge. And then comes in the heroic X-Men, Colossus, and Negasonic Teenage Warhead. What a name. They're like, we couldn't get too many X-Men. We could only get two. And one I've never even heard of before this movie.
Correct.
I'll be honest with you. Never heard of it. And so we finally have the scene. He's talking to Colossus. And while Deadpool is talking to him, Francis is just getting himself out and he runs away. And then Deadpool kind of goes off on Colossus and tries to hurt him and doesn't go the way he wanted it to. No. But he also, I think, wanted to let out some frustration and then pretty much got every bone in his body broken at the same time.
As one does.
As one does. So we kind of talked about it in the intro also where where we just keep getting pushed down. And it doesn't matter what we do. We keep on getting pushed down and we can't really seem to get back on that horse because every time we do, we just keep getting taken off. So really we're kind of talking about how people who really flimsy arms, people who really try to keep on going and going, just keep on getting this pushback from just life in general. And that could really mess people up, get you really depressed and makes you not really want to do anything.
Suicidal?
Because if you try to do something, then it goes horribly wrong and it just keeps on going down. Have you had kind of clients like this? Have you had personal experience like this where just life just keeps on bringing you down?
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Ain't a person on this motherfucking earth that ain't had a moment like this where you had a bad day. You know, you wake up late, you know, car got a flat tire or you're out of gas, you spill your drink on you, right? Your computer breaks down, you got to restart it 10 times. You know, someone yells at you. You just get, it's just one of them fucking days. The other day I had a long day at work. You know, I'll come home, eat my salad, you know, shake it up. The motherfucking salad dressing ain't screwed on, and salad dressing just fucking sprays everywhere, goes flying everywhere. It's all greasy and shit. I cussed Salim out so bad, like, you rotten motherfucker.
What do you do,
bro? Because I know he didn't put that shit on, bro. He never screws anything on. Piece of shit. So you just have those days, bro. Obviously that was like very surface level things, but like some people get it raw, man. They get trauma, abuse. And by trauma, I mean like mental, physical, sexual, emotional. And, you know, and then maybe they don't get housing. Maybe they can't get into school, college. Maybe they get a horrible professors in there. Maybe they get assaulted in school. You know, maybe their parents die while they're in school. It's just thing after thing after thing after thing. Right? I've had clients, Spence, that they've been through so much loss and death, and they're just like, bruh. And then they're like teachers now. And then some of the students take their own lives, and they're like, bruh. And I'm like, I don't even have to tell you, man. Like, and then he's like, it's just a matter of time before you go. Whether, you know, I was like, but you might graduate, so you're going to leave me. He's like, but still, though, it's still gone. I love this human too. A very, very magnificent, awesome man. And it's just tough, man. So life can just keep kicking you in the balls, keep kicking you right in the head. So do I know clients? Yes, Spence. Have I been there? Yes. Right. The life to me has been a dumpster fire for a while, but there's a lot of good things too. It was a dumpster fire for a while. You know what it's like to get continuously kicked in the balls through your life experiences, jobs and searching, relationships, all types of stuff, man. You're just like tired, man. My clients are just like, I'm just tired. I'm done. I'm tired. Looked at a client today. They're not the best with verbal communication. And so they I had them write in their journal because they're magnificent at writing. They didn't even know until I told them. And I was reading and I was like, fuck me, man. They're just like, I'm done. Everything's tiring. I can't even get out of bed. I'm like, you didn't even tell me. I'm thinking in my head, you didn't even tell me this, but you can write it. And they're like, I don't want to play this game anymore. Just to work a job I don't even fucking like. And then have to answer my phone. I don't even like getting notifications on my phone. I hate the noise. And then I hate knowing that I have to respond to someone and do all this and just keep waking up and grinding. And they're just like, I just want to be gone. Not die, but gone.
Mm-hmm.
So do I know them, Spence? Yeah, I deal with them every day. I've got sweethearts that come in now. I don't want to live like this anymore. I said, but you're doing good. You're healing. But I'm always going to be fucked up. I'm always going to deal with anxiety, the depression, the ADHD, the frustration that you can't focus, this eating disorder, right? He will come in. I don't want to live like that. Who will love me? I said, come on, man. They're not going to love you because of this.
Mm-hmm.
It's people struggling, Spence.
Right.
People struggling. So this is a really funny scene. Let's pivot back to the scene.
Yeah.
Where he's punching and boom, he breaks his arm. Boom, he breaks the other arm. Boom, he does a kick. And it's funny as shit, but it's real. Like you throwing these punches at the world and you just
it's just the T-Rex is mighty.
T-Rex is just I know I was just sad right there, laying it on heavy to y'all, but life is a bitch.
Yeah. So before we kind of get a little bit into that more, so there's also this relationship with Deadpool and Colossus where Deadpool has more of a more bleak outlook on the world,
Nihilistic.
right? Yes, nihilistic. And then on the other side, you have Colossus, who is a bit more positive, right? Because he's the superhero. He has to be on that positive energy to kind of keep from the world from just imploding, or his own world from imploding. Who do you see yourself as? Do you see yourself as more like the nihilistic side, or do you see yourself as more as like, okay, hey, we're going to keep bringing you up no matter what you do, no matter who you kill. we're going to keep on helping you and trying to make sure that you get the best of the best, no matter what, because I see potential in you, because that's what Colossus is pretty much saying in throughout the whole series is like, I see potential in you, Wade. It's just that you actually need to fulfill that. But at the same time, Colossus is also trying to make him out to be a hero, where Deadpool does not see himself as a hero at all. So
I posted a reel the other day, right? Because I've been revamping how I'm doing things to get more engagement, right? And it was Theo Vaughn, who's actually an awesome dude. And he said, I'm so used to these horrible thoughts of myself that they're like my friends. And to think that I'm like a good person and worth loving is to be like a betrayal of my friends. He said, I'm so used to these horrible thoughts of myself. This is comfortable. And Deadpool is that person. Deadpool is that person that's just very sad, very hurt, very damaged. Colossal is like the privileged, very, very privileged, like fucking individual that comes from like a well-off family, no trauma. He's a privileged therapist. He's a very autistic therapist too, in the way he carries himself, very robotic, very black and white. So he's definitely autistic. Where Deadpool,
also Russian, so
fucking commies. I don't even know that's the thing.
Sorry to all the commies out there.
Yeah. Just the black ones.
Oh, how many black Russians are there?
They're not many. They're probably not treated well.
No, definitely.
And so Deadpool's more of your ADHD individual, traumatized ADHD, definitely autistic as shit too. But Colossal, definitely a therapist role. Definitely see myself in him 100%. Definitely. I think the best therapist, though, been in Deadpool's shoes, and then they become Colossal. So that would be my role. Is you start out a little Deadpool-y, you go. So I've been doing this with clients in group therapy recently. The word healing versus healed. I don't know if many of us are ever healed, and I think the ones that are the most wounded and fucked up end up being the best healers. Oh, yeah, the wounded healer thing that we talked about with the guy from the Pistons.
Yeah.
What was his name? Gregory? George Foreman looking motherfucker.
George Foreman, that's it. we had George Foreman on the podcast, people.
So these wounded healers are magnificent.
Yeah. And
fuck was his name?
I know. I'm trying to look it up real
It's
quick.
like the two black guys that we had all year.
Dude, it's been a long year.
It's been a long year.
It's been a long
It's been a long year. White people been fucking shit
yeah.
up all year.
We have so many episodes. I'm trying to scroll down. I'm like, nope.
I know. It was at the beginning of the year.
It was. It was The Godfather.
So.
Oh, wait. Here it is.
Oh.
Wait a minute.
Come on, Daddy.
Corey Yeager.
Corey Yeager. The hell did I say? Gregory.
You said
I was close.
That's a white dude. No, it's not.
Mix them together. The letters are in there.
White dude named Gregory.
Gregory. I know some black Gregories.
Like, not even Greg. Gregory.
Gregory. I don't know no Gregories. So I can see a therapist playing that role. But a good therapist will know, like, it's okay to be angry. And matter of fact, with a lot of my women, I'm trying to actually make them get their anger out. You've never expressed your anger, a lot of the women, because it's been mushed down, squished down, stomped out. You've always been the caregiver and the provider. We want you to show some of that nasty woman. We want you to show it. We want you to start fighting back, setting some boundaries, making sure that you're loved and affirmed the way you need to be, and telling these other fuckers that aren't affirming, piss off. So I help a lot of my women. Hey man, no, fuck this. So I don't know if Colossal's good at that. I think that he wouldn't get along with it. I think he'd want to be nice and proper. He's very white coded.
Russian, so
he ain't no brother.
No, definitely not. There's not a lot of brothers on the X-Men team.
Not a lot of brothers.
To be honest with you.
Hey, I know.
There's like two, maybe.
I was talking to Dr. Mac that we did the podcast with for Gen V, and her homegirl signed up, really excited. Is like a badass forensic scientist that is like super famous with studying serial killers. And been on podcasts, news channels, like everywhere, documentaries. She's like legit badass. Nice. She's like, yeah, man, she's from Brooklyn. She's tough as hell. I said, I'm from Flint, motherfucker. I'll be all right. You know, don't give me that Brooklyn shit.
Brooklyn is so fucking passe now.
I know, man. Don't give a shit from Brooklyn. Shut up, old SpongeBob looking motherfucker, dog.
Say you're from Gary, Indiana. Then I'll have some respect for you. I'm telling you, Gary, Indiana.
I know, bro. We pulled over in that motherfucker one time to get gas. Salim, I was like, we got to go.
I drove through that place one time after visiting you. I was like,
no,
I'm never going that way again.
Yep, there's too many colors.
Jesus Christ. Too many for my liking.
There's too many.
Not one white person? Damn.
Woogie boogie, motherfucker.
Oh my God.
Bro, we went in that gas station. I was like, bruh, this hood is hell. And I don't care what color you are. Like, this was like sketch as shit.
It was like when we went to North Dakota. That one was bad.
It's kind of like that, but Glacier? This place we went to was packed. Yeah, this was in Glacier. Yep. Through Montana.
Yeah.
Bozeman.
Yeah.
Bozeman.
I was like
sketch. Now imagine that, but like packed. And then there was a police officer in the gas station that's just camped out waiting.
Right.
I guess it was right across. Oh yeah, they're used to it. We were right across from the casino. I didn't know it was a casino. I just pulled over and got gas. This thing, I didn't even get gas. I'm like, we gotta go.
Yeah.
Yep. That was crazy. Fucking coloreds. Fucking shit up. That's why, 2024, Trump's gonna get rid of all the coloreds.
Yeah, they're all gone.
Yep. Dumbass. Spencer's just co-signing. They're all gone.
I didn't feel good about it.
I don't like that.
Why did I say that?
We're going to get rid of them. For those who don't understand sarcasm, it's completely just bullshit.
It's completely sarcasm. We're both coloreds.
We're both coloreds.
Yeah. Let's get rid of ourselves.
Hey, real quick, Spence, real quick. Did you see that black guy from like wherever? The Republican guy that he said he's a black Nazi and commented on all the porn stuff, and so they're trying to impeach him. Oh my God, Spence, it's wild. And he's talking about on the porn sites. He's commenting like, "I love the femboys and all that." Like bro, it's And he's like a staunch, like kind of Christian, like bigot and all that, super homophobic.
Every
and
time.
Trump goes, he's like Martin Luther King. He's the greatest thing for the country. And he's like legit calling himself a black Nazi on the internet because they found all his shit, all his accounts.
Yeah, of course. They always do. It's just, I'm going to tell you something. This month has not been good for black people. It just hasn't.
No.
It hasn't. You got Diddy. You got this guy.
Yeah.
And then whatever's going to come out after Diddy, like,
there's going to be some shit. Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of shit. And I'm just telling you, buckle up, black people, because it's about to get really, really bad. So,
hey, and you know, me and you both on the same page with this, though. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Fuck everyone that co-signed his shit and all the shit that he did to men and women, children. I know there's a lot of jokes and right, we've been saying the nicknames and stuff like that, but like straight up Weinstein, Epstein, like straight up piece of shit. So
yeah, terrible fucking human being.
Just like
who's just taken his power and position and just really, really has been using it in the wrong way. And it's very disheartening because because there are very few people of color who are actually at the top like that.
Yep.
And so once you see that, then you're like, oh shit, who else is doing this shady shit? And unfortunately, you have to see the skin color because because that's just how it is.
Is what it is.
Even though there are plenty of people of any color, white, black, it doesn't matter. They're pulling this
ton of
dumb shit too. Yeah. But unfortunately, since there's very few people who are at the top like that, it's really going to be magnified. So,
I mean, he was just given the key to the city of New York last year, right? I mean, just a lot of shit. And just one of the worst, vile, most humans in history. If I know a lot of people were very angry and disappointed with a homeboy getting murdered the other day and executed. But I guarantee you no one would give a fuck if he got executed. They'd be like, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. I don't think you're gonna make the trial.
Yeah, a lot of people said that because he's got too much shit. So
too much info. But yeah,
horrible. Sorry to pivot to that, folks, but you're right. It's just people doing fucked up shit out there these days. So yeah, so my condolences to everyone that's had to suffer with that piece of shit. Yeah, and hopefully you can make it through it. Hopefully justice is seen for at least him and his comrades.
Oh yeah. All right.
But yeah, funny scene with the dinosaur hands and all that shit, right? Life kicking you in the head. It's just swift dick in the head.
Anyways, funny scene. Dad?
Yeah, I didn't want to talk about that one where he touches his crotch and he says that, but I mean, it's kind of funny. It's kind of assaulty. But,
yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, he didn't really feel it. It's fine.
I mean, he did cut his hand off after that, so he grew a new one.
Yeah. Hey, it is what it is.
I know you every once in a while you'll be playing basketball and you'll be trying to hand check someone and you'll grab a handful of dick and I'm like, God damn it.
I usually don't reach that low when I'm
I'd be digging.
You're just like, you may want to get that checked.
Yeah, I'd be digging. It's like a full scrape. I'm like, God damn it.
Can you cough for me? Just 1 second. Just 1 second. Cough. Oh, I didn't like that. You might want to get that checked.
Yeah, well, tapping a few times, you still remember it.
Oh my
Get to the next scene.
Oh my God.
The reason why we're here.
So a preamble to the scene that we just talked about. Wade finds out he has cancer. Then he also gets approached by this really creepy white dude in the bar who's just like, hey, we can help you with your cancer.
Very
like, who
creepy,
are you?
Yeah.
Very creepy. And so once Wade finds out he actually has cancer, and feels like, okay, at this point, I actually do want to live. I want to have a longer time with my girlfriend, and I want to make sure that, I can live far enough to where I can actually be with her for as long as I can. And so he goes in for this treatment, and they pump all these different people who are dying essentially with this serum that turns them pretty much into a mutant. But the only way for this serum to actually take effect is to push their bodies to a limit. So they pretty much like torture these people until they actually get these mutant powers. Um, that's where Francis and his lady kind of come in. And so they pretty much have a montage of them torturing Wade and all these other people until they actually have these powers. But it's not working, right? So they have to keep on pushing and pushing. And so we get to this scene where Wade actually finds out Francis's name because he had some lame ass hero or
JD
villain
or some
name,
shit. Yeah.
something like that, something stupid. And then he finally finds out his name, and that was kind of the last straw. And so Francis puts him into this container where it literally takes away oxygen and only brings it back for like a small short of time. And he is literally can't breathe for only like milliseconds. And then that's when his powers start coming into effect. And then all of a sudden he starts, changing into this color. Like essentially it's like his cancer is actually showing up on his skin. Yes. And so then we find out that's the only thing that's really keeping him alive, is his powers. And so you wanted to talk about, especially you had a session with a client where you talked about like this not being able to breathe. You want to kind of dive into that story? How did this happen? And then how did this scene kind of pop up in your head?
Well, we was on a shrimp boat.
Here it is.
And
It's a shrimp boat.
we were getting a fish. All type of fish.
Just one fish?
No, and I caught it.
You
Go and put that down. That was pretty good.
I caught a big one.
I caught a.
And I just kissed it.
Caught me a marlin.
Right on its head.
Jesus Christ. Bag of dicks. But for real though, like I was talking to a client the other day, and multiple clients have been complaining about that tightness in their chest / neck. It's like it's squeezing and squeezing and squeezing, that tightness. And some reported as just like a heaviness on the chest. Heaviness. Some reported as that clenching of the throat and esophagus. Some reported it's not only that clenching, but then that acid reflux that's coming up. So not only can you not breathe, but it's that fire. So a client was describing it. And for some reason, this is the scene that popped up in my head. And I said, hey, you a nerd? He said, yeah. I said, you like that Marvel stuff? Said, yeah. I said, remember that scene in Deadpool and how he got his superpowers and he's just in that fucking coffin thing and there's just fucking bleed all the air out? I said, that's you. She's like, you're breathing, but you're not breathing. She's like, it's just enough to stay alive. And I said, it's just like that scene. So then we talked about the scene. She's like, yep, that's it. And so we've done panic attacks in a lot of shows. We've shown full-blown turtles all the way down where you spiral, you panic attack, you're freaking out. Yeah. We've seen Puss in Boots. Inside Out 2, right? The panic attacks. That's the deep, heavy breathing. The deep, heavy breathing one was also Puss in Boots.
Yeah.
And then the dog? No, the cat. No, it's a little dog. It's a little weird-looking dog, lays his head on him.
Oh, yeah. The little chihuahua.
Little chihuahua-looking thing, yeah. And that's how they regulate. The girl regulates because her identity forms in Inside Out, and then her friends come up, validate her, affirm her. Mm-hmm. But this one, there is no affirming. That this is just full on panic.
He is alone in a chamber,
completely alone, isolated, helpless. It's your worst nightmare.
Also, he has like people who are trying to get him to like break, essentially, mentally and physically.
How's that not a representation for life? Life is trying to break many of us, Spence. Life is literally trying to make us die every day. I told a client today, I said, I don't know how you're still alive, kid. You should be much more fucked up than you are, but you're pretty happy and joyful. And I said, hopefully it stays like that. I look away because I'm projecting out her future. And I said, I hope it stays like that, kid. That you can stay as bubbly and as kind as this with all the shit that you deal with, all your anxieties. You'd see Francis and he's like, Wade tells him to go fuck off. And he said, yeah, we're going to bump up the torture. He said, yeah, that's the thing about torture, though. Wade says, when you do it 24/7, right? It ain't nothing anymore. He said, yeah, that's what you think. We're going to have some fun now, bitch.
Yeah.
And I think that's what life is for some folks that are very depressed or autistic and burned out, neurodivergent, burned out, can't get a job. Horrific things happen. And as soon as you think like, I got a shot, boom.
Mm.
This movie is really about life being so horrific, and then as soon as you think you hit bottom, it's worse.
Mm.
It's almost like watching the Iron Claw. As soon as you think it's going to get better, like it's going to be a good story, more death.
Mm.
It's like, how could it be this sad? That scene with him suffocating like that, bro, I ain't gonna lie, it's my worst fucking nightmare. Being locked in and claustrophobic. I couldn't. No, that's, bro. I mean, I don't even like wearing helmets and shit sometimes, bro.
Yeah, that's why I like Quentin Tarantino when he did the coffin scene in Kill Bill 2. Like, a lot of people were like, what the fuck? Literally getting buried alive in a fucking coffin. Terrible. Terrible, terrible. Couldn't even move her feet and shit. Like, I'm good.
Like that Umbrella Academy, that homeboy that dies, he was in a coffin twice. That was horrible.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that being claustrophobic, not being able to breathe, to be on the precipice of life and dying, and then you have to stay there the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
That's a ton of people with anxiety disorder. They're right there all the time, teetering, almost wishing that you could die, but you can't.
Mm.
That feels like generalized anxiety disorder with me with a panic attack. So I just want to touch on that scene. Don't really have to go into it much more. It's a horrific place to be. I'm going to cut it up, chop it up as some reels. Probably going to send it to some clients. Probably freak them the fuck out.
This is what you're going through.
Look at it.
I don't want
to. Look at more.
Cut to Kylo Ren scene.
Yeah, cut to Kylo Ren scene. That'll be a good clip.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So this last scene. Wade finally gets his revenge. Finally gets it, right?
Finally gets it.
Finally gets
he
it.
He finally gets
Wade,
that good nut.
One shot, one opportunity.
That's it. You only get one, Mike.
Mom spaghetti. All right. So this is at the end of the movie. Wade finally gets Francis and has a gun to his head. And they're kind of going back and forth and things like that. And then Colossus just comes in. He's just like, you have 4 to 5 moments in your life. Of course, Deadpool and both of them are just like, oh my god, dude. It's like, can you just shoot me? Can you just get it over with? I don't want to hear the spiel, the whole hero spiel. All right.
Real quick. How bad is it when an autistic person starts doing a self-interest and then you literally want to die? That's pretty bad.
Hey, now, don't do that. Shut the fuck
Let me
up,
tell you about these trains. Fuck this.
This dude literally is tortured, killed, sold people into slavery. And Colossus just like, wait, don't do it. Don't do it, man. You're better than this. He's just like, no, I'm not. And then just pops him right there. He's like, you're droning on. What was I supposed to do? Huh? Like, you just wouldn't stop. Like, he's dead. It's over with. We don't have to worry about this guy anymore.
That's what I like, right? Kill the bad guy finally. Stop letting the bad guy live, and then he just keeps murdering more people. Kill him.
That's the duality of being a hero, right? It's like, because if you start killing people, then technically are you the bad guy in it? But then if you let them go, they're just going to keep on wrecking havoc. They're going to get out. We've seen with Batman, the Joker. It's like, why do you keep on doing this, man?
Yeah.
You know?
No one ever gets the climax that way. At least one person gets off.
Yep, he got off all right. Just with a small gun too. So I wonder if that was.
It was. I feel like that was
Yeah.
intentional.
I feel like it was too. Just a little beep.
a little beep boop. I do a lot of damage with a little beep boop.
You sore, baby? Sure.
Was it good?
Was it good for you?
Yeah. I mean, you were there. Okay.
Well, at least one of us got off. Am I right?
Hey, cheers.
Hey.
Here's your $200.
But yeah. I think this is a good scene to have just for like just always having that one person that always tries to have to make a certain situation either positive or try to turn it on its head, even though it doesn't have to.
Spence,
you don't have to.
if we're talking about this, you'd be Colossus in this one. I'd be the fuckhead doing all the weird shit.
I know.
I'm like, hey man, I'm about to shove this Coke bottle in my ass. What do you think?
If it makes you happy.
Shake it up.
Extra fizzy. That's what I say.
No.
Put some Mentos in there. You'll make it even better. Come out your mouth.
Spencer's, oh my God. The fresh maker. No, Spencer's always the one like, let's think about this, Nas,
Yeah.
Can we go to speed limit, Nas? Like, do you have to drive just watching TV the whole time? Like,
I have my moments where I want scorched earth, right?
Yep.
I just want to blow my top. But at the same time, like, I also know that
Reality.
like we also have to know that like as a brown big dude, I don't want you to have this on your resume where people are like, this guy just said fuck you to me.
Yeah.
And we should, get rid of him. I also have to have that mindset too. I have to have the Colossus mindset where I'm just like, I have to be positive. I also have to, make sure that we're, keeping on to what we got to do to move on to better things, the hero mentality. But, it's also a pain in the ass.
It's a pain in the ass to be like responsible.
Yeah, be like, fuck them. Yeah, go tell them to go fuck themselves.
Yeah. Beep boop.
Hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, I know. And everyone on this pod's going to know this, man. We've all been mad at someone. We've all been angry. We've all been hurt in some way. We've all wanted vengeance. Is a dish served cold or best served cold? I fucked that up.
Dish served cold.
It's a vengeance. It's like a hot pocket. Hot on the inside, cold in the middle.
So I like my... Never mind.
Oh, wait a minute.
Hold on.
Just how I like my butts.
Think of anything else.
No, that's what I wanted to say. Yeah, man. So it's a really funny scene, right? Of the duality of responsibility, professionalism.
Yeah.
Thinking about you and your family, right? Keeping your job, your paycheck, not scaring other people, not being the monster that you've been programmed to be, not being the thug or the bitch that society wants you to be, not being hysterical like we call women, not being aggressive like we call some of the dudes of color, large dudes, not being the jock. There's a lot of stereotypes that people are trying to fight out there. But let's do a little pivot.
Mm-hmm.
He is talking some real game though when he's talking about those 4 or 5 moments.
Mm-hmm.
Without giving away obviously a ton of details, right? I've been recently had a lot of awesome students do a lot of awesome things.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, you realize you saved a life. But your life means nothing. You're a piece of shit and you never have any meaning, but you just save a life.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not the smartest in class and I'll never be like these people and I'm a piece of shit and a loser. I said, but you just said something awesome to this person right here, a person that is my friend, therapeutically my friend. And you just made them feel good. I didn't even say what you said because I'm lost in the sauce trying to be solutions focused. You validated them. I said, you might not be the smartest, but you're going to be one hell of a fucking therapist if you make it because you got the sauce.
Mm-hmm.
People's meaning, they always ask me, what's the meaning and purpose? I said, what if you already served your purpose? What if you've already held the door open for someone? What if you said hello to, you had a conversation with someone that's been suicidal because no one talks to them?
Yeah.
You don't know what this butterfly effect or this ripple effect is. And so those 4 or 5 moments could be smaller than what you think they are, people.
Mm-hmm.
Life is hard. Life is miserable, as we've seen in this show. Maybe be the person that makes someone smile today.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, I always say take care of yourselves at the end. Maybe take care of someone else, but small thing.
Mm-hmm.
Be the reason why someone smiles or has joy or a reason to live, not the reason why they want to take their own lives, not the reason why they're miserable, not the reason why they're angry. Don't be that. And you're going to fuck up and you are going to be the villain sometimes. But those 4 or 5 moments, bro, I actually firmly believe that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm lucky enough to be in a position where those 4 or 5 moments are magnified. So I have like thousands of hundreds of them.
Right.
But for most people, it's just a couple really big moments where you save a friend's life, spare a life. I take that to heart, and hopefully other people take that to heart. And in saying that, if you fuck that moment up and you decide violence is the answer, hey, you know.
Some people need to learn with an ass whooping,
Yeah.
you know?
My dad co-signed it, so I mean, it's fine. As my dad would say when he was healthy and I was like in middle school, don't do nothing I wouldn't do. I'm going to burn this motherfucker down. Google me, bitch.
Good times in the garage.
Good times. It's would you agree with that 4 or 5 moments in life, or do you think maybe it's more for some people, or maybe it's only one, or maybe it's all bullshit? What do you think?
I think it's a mixture of both. It's all depending on the people, right? It's like everything else. I mean, we do have like a few moments that really define us and who we are. But to kind of say that you only have those moments to rely on feels like then like what happens after those moments? Then is that it? Is that all I need in life is to look back on those 4 or 5 moments, or can I actually make more to, make sure that I'm keeping up with who I am as a person,
Good counterpoint. I've got a second point on that point. Not a counterpoint. Some people will pervert what we just said. They'll think that life is only those 4 or 5 moments, and maybe they'll fuck up all 4 or 5 and they'll be violent all 4 or 5. Thus, I'm going to think that my whole identity is there's only those singularly 10-second, 4-second moments where I fucked up, did something wrong, car crash, whatever it is. Right, hurt someone, right? Just a few moments in life. And so I've used this psychology, Spence, where I've said, so you're a piece of shit just because of a couple mistakes or bad choices in life? No. There's too much life. The whole life is years and years and years, and you had a bad 2-3 hours.
Right.
So I like what you said because it made me think of it in a different way. Maybe life could be awesome for these heroes, the 4 or 5 really big, impactful moments. But when it comes, if you're flipping it on bad moments, those bad moments do not define you.
Well, and let's also take a look at not just only Deadpool and Colossus. Let's also take a look at Francis as well, right?
That motherfucker got a lot of bad moments.
He's living in bad, like his whole life is a bad moment, and he likes that. He likes that.
Piece of shit. I like it too. Like when you bite my ass.
Hit me. What? But like he's not having, because Colossus knows that he is a bad guy. He is the villain in this story.
Yep.
And he has no redeeming qualities to him at all, because that's just who he is now. Because then we also get those people in our lives who don't really have those redeeming moments, and you have to cut those people out of your life, because then they're just going to keep on bringing that negativity. They're going to keep on bringing like just bad thoughts, abuse to that relationship, and then I'm not saying, do what Wade did it by any means at all, but kind of cutting people out of your life.
You metaphorically kill him.
Yeah, metaphorically. We're not saying actually.
You kill him with your mind penis.
Wait a minute. You fuck him to death with your mind penis? What? What did you just say? What did you
Oh my
just
God.
say?
Oh my God. I just dissociated a little bit. Oh,
A little.
I feel like it's in. It's in me.
Oh, don't die now.
My mind penis.
He got fucked to death by his mind penis.
Oh my God. That's what you call good therapy. But you're right. He's got no redeeming qualities. He's a piece of shit psychopath.
Yes. So it's like, is Wade is not wrong, but then Colossus is not wrong either, right? Because he sees life as something, no matter what or who it is life, and you shouldn't kill it. Because that's what heroes think, right? You shouldn't kill anything because that's life, no matter what.
Yep.
But at the same time, Wade sees it a whole differently because Wade was tortured by this guy. He also kidnapped his girlfriend, tried to kill her, and killed and sold off tons of other people, right? So it's like, to Wade, there's no coming back from this. Like, this is it. And the only reason why he kept him alive in the first place was because he thought he could cure what he looked like. And that was it. And then killed him. So
here's something interesting. So a while ago, a couple years ago, one of the greatest UFC boxers in history, Mexican, big boy, Cain Velasquez. You know the story about Cain Velasquez?
I believe so.
So someone assaulted his daughter, beat him to death. A lot of people saying he was a hero, right? A lot of people, right? So he went to jail for that. I don't think he's out yet, but I think he's getting ready to come out. I know he's sentenced for a while. Some people will say, hey, justice served. Justice serves, because the legal system fails a lot of folks that are victims of abuse. Fails a lot of folks that are victims of assault, right? I mean, so, hey, well, this is maybe a win for society, but some folks are like, hey, man, that's a life. And, I'm one of those folks who are like, hey, man, maybe I'll turn the eye. Right. And some folks I know won't agree with that statement there, but, I don't know if I could do any better if I was in his shoes. So
that's the thing. It's like, until, hopefully never, but unless you're in that position, how do you know? Because I could say for days like, oh yeah, I would never. Yep. But then you get put in that position and you're just like, I'm definitely gonna kill this motherfucker.
Because then you go to prison, then what happens to your kids, your family? I mean, it's a lot. I mean, so he lost his shit, and he's like, no, you're not doing this.
Yeah. And he's willing to live with those consequences, because that's just, because he knew, like, hey, this is how it is. You felt like you could do that. Well, then I feel like I could do this.
Yeah, it's I was talking to someone the other day, or I wanted to tell someone the other day. I was saying, one day you're gonna run into the wrong motherfucker. And I forgot who it was. I said, one day you're gonna run into the wrong. I'm thinking it in my head. You're gonna run into the wrong motherfucker. And then you're going to wish you would have shut the fuck up. I don't know if it was a client or something in society, right? But I was just thinking, oh, okay, one day your times are coming. Your times are coming, boy.
You would. And like, sometimes you wish that people would learn that early on so that then it doesn't have to get to that point.
Yep.
But some people are just so thick-headed.
And ignorant.
And ignorant. And they just, like, it just gets to that point where everyone's wishing you would fail in a way.
Yep.
Right. And you don't want that. But at the same time, like, these people just keep on just acting a fool.
Yep.
And
hurting others.
And sometimes you wish it bites them in the ass and that they get their ass whooped. Sometimes it doesn't happen and they never learn at all.
Bad people end up living good lives and get away with a lot of shit, Spence. It's a horrible world sometimes. Yeah. So yeah, maybe y'all in the comments or DM us. Colossus, is that his name? Colossus, right? Wade, right? Don't say you were doing any violence, because I don't want you to get in trouble as a record. But like, who was right?
Who was right?
Who was right? Who do you agree with? That's a question for today. Another question for today is the panic attack thing. Do you relate to not being able to breathe, to suffocating, to be in like this coffin? Do you relate to that symptom? And does that make sense for you? Can you visualize it? Well, I don't want you to visualize it, but is that the visual that comes to mind? And then I just hope all of you suffering with family members that are dealing with cancer, friends, loved ones, coworkers, that you love them, you get support for yourself, and may you do the best with that situation that you can, because you never know. So I just hopefully you take care of yourself.
Can I ask this real quick? This
Go
is a
ahead.
question that'll probably turn into a reel. What's worse? Is it a glass coffin like Wade was in, where you could see people living, doing their shit? Or is it worse to be in a coffin that's closed off in darkness?
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm gonna die either way. Like, this is my nightmare, to be in a suffocating place with my big ass. What's worse is, I guess, you're trying to get at the visual of like seeing people pass you by. I mean, I would rather
As you're
have
like slowly dying.
I would have maybe the visual instead of completely pitch black, because then your mind's just racing. At least I can see things. Because, you know, my imagination will take over and it's just fucking clowns and like fucking baboons throwing shit on the wall. It's not fun. I don't need to be left in the dark. I don't even like the dark in my hallway. Like, I'll run, I'll like trounce from the yeah, from my fat ass head.
Fucking Muppet. Just
Yeah. I will pounce, prance on Donner, on
Prance.
Blitzen, on Prancer, on Vixen. From the kitchen, from the fridge, all the way back to my room at 2 a.m. Like, I'd be seeing shit.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, when I was a kid and I get something late at night and I just shut that light off real quick and I just run. Just run.
Yep. Motherfucking ACLs be hurting, boy. Those are one of the worst moments. I guarantee you other people are not alone in that. Like us, like I guarantee you most of y'all, you shut them lights off in the kitchen, you gone.
Yeah.
You gone. You got to cut through the family room, dining room, you gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, hey, just wanted to ask that before we left. So
Oh, I'd be horrified. I'd be like, just kill me. Who's got the little, I'm not going to finish this, but
nope.
no, I'm not saying anymore.
All right, folks. Thanks for watching. Yeah. So with that, I'm Spencer. That's us. Different Spectrum Podcast.
All right, everyone. Peace and much love. And remember to take care of yourselves.
Or don't.
That's up to you. Mind penis.